you know, your mind is a very funny place. I mean, I've always said, you know, it's your second thought and your first action that you're responsible for. Your first thought, throw it away, you know.
Right. But upon consideration,
Yeah.
the second thought is what you're responsible for.
Yeah.
That's the difference between first degree and second degree murder.
There you go.
Right? Right?
There you
It's
go.
first degree, like, I'm plotting this out. And we take that into consideration when we sentence people.
Sure.
Like, if you're a person who just, all of a sudden you're in a fight with a guy, you didn't expect it, and you stab him and kill him, second degree murder.
Yeah.
But if you're like, I'm going to kill this motherfucker, I'm going to
Yeah.
find out where he is,
Yep.
and I'm going to go get him, first degree.
Sure. I
That's-
planned a
that's
lot of
worse.
murders in my life, you know.
Yeah, in your
we
head.
all have. Yeah, in your head. You plan the murder and you think, well, that's not a very good idea. But I think I could get away with it.
Right. Well, there's the second thought. Yeah. That is interesting that we take that into consideration.
Yeah.
That we do. Like, if you've had time to think about it, you're a different kind of person than person that acts in the act.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're in your animal
act of
brain.
passion. Yes.
And I found this out. I actually spent a long time in my animal brain, which is a very horrible place to be. And
When you say that, what do you mean by you've spent a long time in your animal brain?
you're in flight or fight
Right.
all the time. You don't even sleep. It's like really not a good place to be. And if anybody looks at you the wrong way, you want to bite them.
Yeah.
And sometimes you say and do things that are socially unacceptable. And, you know, I went and got a brain scan by this guy called Daniel Amen, who's this brain guy. He's against all psych meds and stuff, but he thinks like, let me have a look at your brain. And he put a radioactive tracer in me
Whoa.
and to photograph my brain.
Right,
He works with a lot
MRI,
of,
right?
Yeah, he works with a lot of football players and guys who've
Okay.
had brain injuries. Man, it's thirsty in here. But so he looked at my brain and he was like, and he opens the file and I'm in there with the guy and he looks up and he goes, "Are you okay?" And he goes, first he went like this. And I said, "What?" And he went, "Are you okay?" Like that. And I said, "Yeah, I think so." And he came over and he sat next to me, but very slowly and cautiously. And he says, "No, you're not." And I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "You got the worst case of PTSD I've ever seen." And I said, "You mean like even worse than guys in war and shit like that?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he says, "You're not okay."
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, I started to well up, you know, like, no, I'm not. You know, it's like,
Oh, boy.
and it was, he had a very miraculous and great remedy for it, which was to eat a bunch of fish oil, vitamin B complex, and get into a hyperbaric chamber for 40 sessions. But make sure you do at least 2 or 3 a week.
Oh.
It fixed my head.
Really?
Yeah, it got me out of that wacky place, you know?
So it was something to do with nutrition and oxygen and
Yeah. And your brain is neuroplasticity. He explained neuroplasticity to me and how, okay, you could get brain damage and like holes in your head and all, you know, concussion. I used to play rugby. You know? And I've been knocked out on the field a couple of times, you know.
That explains a lot.
You know.
Yeah.
And so it actually, you can actually heal the holes in your head. It looked like Swiss cheese in there. It's like horrible. There's a lot of these football players get like that too. The poor guys, I mean, they get depressed and they get,
Oh, yeah.
you know, oh yeah.
Hormonal imbalance, pituitary glands fucked up.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
not producing testosterone or human growth hormone correctly.
That's correct.
Yeah, depression, low energy,
Yep.
irritability.
Irritability, you want to kill somebody, you know, it's like terrible
Yeah.
thing, you know. And it's just not socially acceptable. Plus, I don't want to go to prison.
Yeah.
So-
Well, the rugby, I bet that's a giant factor.
Yeah, I played from like 13 to probably in my late teens, and you get knocked around a little
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
No helmet, no, you know. I smoked for 45 years, and I couldn't stop. And then I finally, my doctor said, "You have first stage emphysema." And I'm like, "You got to be kidding me." He says, "Yeah, you got to get the smile." I said, "Yeah, I better read this book." So I read the book, and I stopped. In fact, if I hadn't had the stem cells afterwards, my lungs completely healed from that, by the way.
Did it do it intravenously?
Yeah, intravenous. And it gets stuck in your lungs. And it
Was this
helped.
Dr. Reardon?
That was Reardon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked.
stem cells are incredible, and the fact that you can't get them the way they can get them in overseas, the way you can get it in Panama where Reardon has his clinic.
And like in your 60s, man, you're not there yet, but stuff starts like giving up on you.
Yep.
It's like,
No, I feel it in my 50s.
oh yeah. How old are you?
57.
58 is when it starts, man. This
Oh,
is when
Jesus.
Yeah, that's when I first noticed it. Was like, oh, what's going on with this here, the shoulder, and I went down to Reardon, of course, who shot it up with stem cells, and it was good for like 2 years. You know.
You just got to keep going back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't go back often enough.
That's the thing. I think it's just your body's just not going to heal the way it did when you were younger unless you consistently get therapy for that.
Yeah.